Let us assume that we are all in this particular stage. So all of you have joined for your PhD, and we have the regular students, part-time, and an executive. So when you join for a course that is a research method, you will be thinking that how to proceed and how I have to conduct my research. One of the advantages of the researcher is that you all have your inclination to do a research, and so many thoughts you are getting. Then the problem comes, what real problem I want to take. So therefore the first one is that what is the path which you are going to take, either inductive method or the deductive methods. It was a methods of reasoning given by the Socrates. Whether you will be taking the existing theories via hypothesis or the gather the data on the new parameters and thesis. Because every researcher starts in their career with a question. The question in the sense called why I do research and what is the problem which I have selected. Then comes about always they come to the teacher and the friends they say, sir, whether my topic is a good or bad. So when they come within a broad area or they take some sort of topic sometimes, whether it is a good or bad. So if you see this particular slide, the first one which we are talking about the real world problem. This is also we call when you take up a subject, kindly take a subject which has a research gap. Research gap means in every research we look forward what is our contribution to the society, what is our contribution to the state. So end of the day, it is not just to add a doctor before the name, it should be something beyond that. So therefore we always talk about identification of the problem by questioning yourself which method can be the best methods. Then comes about the another slide. When you see broad problem has to be narrowed down, planning the blueprint. Broad problem, I can tell some of the issues. For example, there may be hundreds of researches which we comes under the Article 21 of the Indian Constitution and basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Nowadays, we see the students coming with regard to the artificial intelligence and the Constitution. Then people come with regard to the digital law and the Constitution. That is one sector. There is other side of the students who are doing lot of research on the arbitration, mediations. And sometimes people take a broad subject on the family law issues and the corporate law issues. There are some issues which have the broader field in the sense called on economic policy. And also, as the earlier speakers have spoken, impact of a law by taking the sociological backgrounds, economic backgrounds, or doing directly from the empirical field. So therefore, I request that every scholar who is thinking, they have to broad to the real world problem, which is a researchable topic with a clear objectives. Please remember that one. You can redraft again and again. So better thing is you should have an objectives, and every objective has to be proved while writing your chapters. Otherwise, what will happen? And the people will think, I have made a problem. They have a difficulties with regard to the identification of variables and testable and non-testable variables. Then another important thing which we have, formulating the hypothesis. You will have a big class on the hypothesis where you have an existing data or observations. Then other go for the hypothesis testing. So we have a lot of debate whether we have to write hypothesis or research questions. There is no uniformity on the meaning. People say that when you go for empirical study, you have a research questions, you don't require an hypothesis. But when you do a comparatively, what are the two methods, doctrinal and empirical one, then you are definitely having the hypothesis. So then afterwards you require about the universe. Universe in the sense that where you are going to select your area of the subjects. Now this is what I want to discuss, the very important one. This slide you can see the first one. Your objective should be very clear, achievable and verifiable. Please remember this one. Generally what will happen, people who will have an objective, they write to historically evolution, or to analyze, to describe, to explore, to critically study, blah blah blah. Then sometimes they write to compare. When you say comparative, they always says compare with America, USA, China, Japan. When we ask the scholars why America, they don't have the answers. So the thing is that make an objective or which are very clear achievables. It makes your job very easy, because this is what from here after every presentation you will be asked the same question. The same question is that what are the 5 or 7 objectives, whether your objectives are achievable or not achievable, verifiable or non-verifiable. If somebody is doing about the impact of arbitration in the Indian uh, justice scenario, whether how do you going to verify, what is the parameters you are going to do. If your research clear objectives are there, every objective you are going to have the question wise and every chapters. Once your research objective itself is very vague, having no clarity, then automatically subject becomes very much complicated. So then it should also be measurables. That's why when you see the same one, the next what you can, the basic and applied research. As Lakshminath sir was telling that using the knowledge and theoretical universal utility, solve the specific practical problems and practical limited utilities. Basically, what we call it as the applied research and the basic research. There we have the theory and practical. This we find in every research topic. People start writing 2 chapters, one historical evolution, one international evolution comparative study. So almost all 3 chapters were completed. America, they follow the method of 5 rule, 5 that's called 5 modules. In India, generally we follow 7 rules. 7 rule means 7 chapters, excluding introduction and the conclusion. And otherwise sometimes they go for 9 also, but 9 we are not advising nowadays. So if generally it is the 7 chapters. If those who are looking the American continent, they go the 5 rules. So therefore your chapters, when you identify, almost all introduction is done, conclusion comes later, and first is about history, second is about the description or comparison, then you are left with the 3 chapters only. So when you have a 3 chapters, then you will be talking about the primary and the methods. When you talk about the method, we have the 2 important things: research method and research methodology. I will tell what is the difference between that. Research method, which you can see here, going to the library, going to the field and observation, or going to a laboratory. For the lawyers, law school students, the laboratory is the field work. Field work means where you directly meet or how to study that. Either take the universe and sampling, whether 1,100 people, 200 people, or 500 people. Please remember, for PhD thesis nowadays, most of the universities are asking the minimum sample size should be more than 200, because even dissertations people are getting 50. For PhD, in order to justify our topic, they are expecting more than 200 sample size. So if you are having one chapter for the sample, so that also you have to think over about that interviews, etc., depending on nature of your topic. Then other one is the primary data and secondary data. For the empirical study, the observation is the primary data, the original one. Whereas law students, we have statutes are original. If a law student who is doing a research of sociological impact, then economic impact, then we say the field is the primary data. The point is that the primary data changes according to the nature of the broad area which you have selected. So please remember that one. Always don't write the primary data legislations are the first text. If I am doing a subject on the, let us say for example, this mediation the diverse cases. If I take in a particular jurisdiction, then that jurisdictional cases becomes a primary data. Then later it will comes about the legislations. Then engaging of the participation, bottom approach and the community collaboration, then the final reports. Then the other important point, this is where in one slide I have made of all of you to understand very easy flow chart. Now all of you are in a stage that is called observations. Observations times what we can say, you start reading, you are understanding about already literature, then after the observation, after primary research, then you comes about the hypothesis formulations. So a research is not an accidental discovery. A research is a deliberated, systematic process designed to understand an observation, test an hypothesis, or solve a specific problem through rigorous methodology. So please remember that way, a research is not an accidental one. So now this flowchart makes you understand on which stage you are there and how to proceed from the first step to the last step. From observation to the last, which we have a conclusion. Hypothesis, design.
Sir, excuse
Yes,
me, sir.
please.
I'm able to
Please.
see only half the screen, sir. I'm not able to see the entire.
Okay. Okay, that has to be. So, my image, that one boxes, no, sir, we can reduce. Just only PPT.
అవదు కాదు కాదు
Sir, even that computer side one also. So the side, I think, Microsoft one.
మహేష్ ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్
ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ పెట్టేసి వచ్చేస్తుంది అనుకుంటా.
ఈ స్క్రీన్ ఉంచేయండి కనపడుతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్కి వెళ్ళండి. ఆహా ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ వద్దు, ఇది నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్కి వెళ్ళండి. ఇదైతే పూర్తిగా కనపడుతుంది.
ఇలాగ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
ఇలా ఉంచేయండి సార్.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible, sir.
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for informing us. Otherwise, I would have gone the same way. This was the earlier, but I will share later. This is one which we comes about the flow chart. Where we are standing today, the standing in the cons, we don't want every scholar to go in zigzag way. Once you are clear, the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can have a planned structure of your thesis or your research work. Then you can guide others also how to do research instead of getting difficulties in the which stage you are there. So first you have identified some sort of I want to do a PhD. Then you require the hypothesis formulation that happens about the after preliminary study. Then you will have the design, then the data collection. Then the data collection, you are able to see two sides data collection. From the design, there is a data collection. There is also Chechthon. Chechthon means actually what happens. I make a presupposition. Then I will go to the library. I don't get a data. Then I go to various places, I am not getting a single page. Then suddenly researcher gets disappointed. He says, sir, I don't have any material, what to do? Then we tell the scholars, if there is no available literature, better not to venture on that subject initially. The reason is very simple. If available literature is 10,000 pages, from 10,000 pages are you going to write 300 pages? If available literature is only 2 pages, will you be able to write from 2 pages to 200 pages? For example, if we see Albert Einstein thesis, it is not more than 50 pages. It is almost all 27 pages. That too, it was in German language. But whereas in India today we have certain requirements about the minimum number of, even the testing of hypothesis. So therefore, once you collect the data and once you have, get ample amount of the data, then you can go for analysis. After the designs, if there is a problem on data, you can again come back to the hypothesis or observational formulas. My point here is that the observation hypothesis what we made today is not the final. If we are very confident all resources are available, then it is fine. Today, since we have admitted into the PhD course, you can discuss with your friends, you can have the brainstorm sessions, you can also speak to your supervisors, then you can think. But your broad field is confirmed. Broad field in the sense, I am doing Indian Constitution, I am doing on international investment law, I do corporate law, arbitration law, or under the constitutional law specific issues, interstate disputes or amendment of the Indian Constitution, inter-water disputes, like that, or you can have the multiple subjects which comes. So therefore, this slide will make all of you even to understand about the how to proceed with the a subject when you talk about the research. The research should be very planned way of research. So therefore, you can plan in such a way that how do you plan a topic, and the plan has to be by virtue of initially observation, then moving further to the different what we can say the inquiries. When you look about the inquiry, an inquiry should be, a scholar should have an intentions. And as Sar was telling again, a truth has to be explored. That was the research. You are already having exploration and going with regard to the some discoveries. Therefore, true research is a structured process to verify or understand the observations and also provide the relationship between the variables and also giving the solutions. Let us say, for example, food security law with poverty, public sector schemes and poverty. Like today, we have a debate. The freebies makes the people what we can more lazy, or mediation is not a successful tool due to there are some reasons. Arbitration is a failed sector in India because of the people will write a critical study of arbitration in India. Somebody will write economic policies of the state. So when you look about a subject, then you identify with what variables you are testing. The law through judicial judgment, whether we're touching about the law through the implementation of the executive body, or law with regard to the impact on the people and societies. Therefore, you have a subject which comes to you, socio-legal study, economics law study, then comes about political law study, then comes family law study, then international law study will come. So therefore, try to understand that which sector you are going to make it in order to hit directly under which domain you are planning. If those things are very clear, then automatically your subject is going to be the a target, and that target is hits it directly to the output oriented. And this is the where you will get every day so many questions by every examiner. We have research methodology versus research methods. When you say research methodology, everybody knows they say doctrinal, non-doctrinal, historical, empirical, analytical, like that they give a method or the methodologies. Methods comes about when you go for library and field research or laboratory or desk research like that. That means method is a tool to achieve the methodology. Sometimes when you ask the students, what is your samples? Generally, this question will be asked to you from here after as a PhD scholar. What methodology you have taken? People say doctrinal research. Under doctoral research, what method you have taken? Then people again tell an answer again and again, doctrinal methods. In doctrinal method, what is the internal one? Have you done a desk research? Have you done a library research? Have you done about literature of all the like survey methods? So if a scholar is very clear, that's what sometimes people says, research is nothing but of, taking from five textbooks and combine one. No, that is wrong actually. The people who are not aware, they say, what is in research? You take 20 books, take so many paragraphs here and there, you compile and write. That way of approach or that way of presentation is always wrong. Generally, what will happen is that if you are clear about the methodology and if you are clear about the methods, almost all 100% of PhD can do it. Because you have that clarity from the day one, you will be able to justify your research. No, this is the method I have taken. These are the tools I have. Therefore, I am going to test it by using of the tool by virtue of methods. So the point is very clear. Research is a particular tool and research is a systematic approach to a problem. That is also very important. When somebody will ask you, there is a logic, there is also called a specific problem. So that's what you can see here. Definition is called the overarching science of studying how research is done scientifically. Please remember, if research is done scientifically means it is also applies to social science research. It's not a science research. Scientifically based, the method which we follows and the proper, methodologies, the logic of the various steps by a researcher to study a specific problem. So all of you have identified the problems and you are going to make some sort of your observations or the conclusions after the study. Majority of the time, researchers are having predetermined notions. Predetermined notion means I know one problem and I also have a solution for that in my mind. I always want whatever there in my mind, that solution should come into the output. Please remember, researchers should be open-minded. The solutions which arise by the researcher is on the basis of the method, not the personal opinions. I'm again repeating again, personal opinions, personal biases cannot be a subject matter of a research. If a personal opinion, personal biases are there, then we ask one more thing called, you may have working hypothesis, working definition that you can give after 1 or 2 years of study. On the day one, if I have some sort of, I can give a simple example. There is a traffic violation rules, and I am proposing that if anybody has violated the traffic rules, instead of fine, they should be sent for a jail for 3 months. If I want to do a research on the traffic violations and the penalty is not enough, I want to give imprisonment, then automatically I have my own starting of research, ending of research. So therefore, a researcher should not take too personal. Sometimes what will happen, they take too personal. It is my topic. I am working for so many years. I want these results. That is true. And you have to defend your title. Therefore, as a researcher, take a topic which is close to your heart and do research on that. Sometimes I may be interested in the international law. I will take up a subject on corporate law for job purpose. And where always my mind is somewhere else and I want to do commercial law. And I am interested in commercial law, but somebody has told you take international law because you can go to United Nations, we can go to America where one of the spouse is working. I have some students actually. They say work on international commercial arbitration, you can practice in the London or in America. And the student is interested in some other subject. And therefore, think yourself which is close nexus to your heart. Because if you don't have that interest, the whole research will be complicated on daily basis. So that we don't want any scholar uh, to take the research topic on pressure or to take the research topic guided by the peer or the other peoples. Now, this is again, as just now which I told, designs. Descriptive analytical. Even if you go to today, we have E. Sodaganga, where thousands of PhD theses are available. You will find in every dissertation or in the thesis, they write descriptive, analytical, historical, evolutionary. They write in the dissertation of LLM. And I think we are connected, madam. I don't. It's running. Okay. So I think we're connected, madam. It's running actually. Madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir,
right? Okay.
audible, sir.
Yes, sir,
And
audible,
there is
sir.
some power cut here, that's what actually, okay. And we have the designs as well as the descriptive and analytical, and everyone will write in the first the objectives and methods may the research design. And this question also you will get every time, whether you are making the state of affairs as it is present. So therefore one chapter is a descriptive. So we have done about the description. Analytical, available facts to make critical evaluation. There they write chapter 3 or 4. So without descriptive analytical, no research will go by 2 chapters afterwards. So you have already descriptive analytical, then conceptual, empirical, qualitative and quantitative, fundamental and applied. These 6 words almost are alphabets of our research. These 6 words, descriptive, analytical, conceptual and empirical, fundamental and applied. If you say, for example, concepts related to abstract ideas or theory used to develop. Let us say you are going to have new theory, so you already have a concept of abstract idea. So every researcher has abstract idea, so therefore that has to be tested in existing principles. Like empirical, that comes about the field. Analytical, if there is a fact which is already existing, you want to make a critical studies, then they always will find, let us say for example, enforcement of foreign arbitral awards or enforcement of arbitral awards in India, critical study. Modification of arbitral awards, a critical study. Or somebody will write a critical analysis, critical analysis, critical analysis. And somebody will write an analytical study, a critical analysis. So when people will write critical analysis, and the critical study, please remember that these particular terms, then you can understand what you are going to do. A critical evaluation is not a criticism of what others have said. Like we have 3 concepts in the analysis. Yes, every student was reading Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. What Socrates said, it is a thesis. What Plato said, it is the antithesis. What Aristotle said, it is a synthesis. You have the 3 generations of teacher, student, and the student. Plato is the student of Socrates, who disagreed with the Socrates. Aristotle is a student of the Plato who had a separate opinion. When Aristotle writes, he refers the ideas of Aristotle, Plato and the Socrates. This is what we call a synthesis. To understand our understanding of subject, every student might have read J.N. Pandey Indian Constitution, D.D. Basu Indian Constitution, and H.M. Sirvai Constitutional Law. When people will go to H.M. Sirvai Constitutional Law, you don't find answers very easily. In H.M. Sirvai Constitutional Law, he writes what A said, what B said, what the judge said, etc. He has given the combined opinions in synthesis writing. If we read the MP Shukla or V.R. Shukla or MP Jain or maybe the J.N. Pandey, it talks about only what is what is what. Like in Companies Act, Avatar Singh Company Law explains what is what. If you go to Ramaya's Company Law, it is a synthesis, larger voluminous book. How to read synthesis books is also very important. How to read the thesis also very important. You may be thinking that whether synthesis means a big book. Answer is wrong. I can give another example of where small books are synthesis. We have in international law, Oppenheim on international law, Malcolm Shaw on international law. There is an author called Michael Agerhast. The book of Michael Agerhast is a very small book, not more than 200 pages. Whereas Malcolm Shaw book is more than 1000 pages. Malcolm Shaw of international law explains line by line in a theory way. When you read Michael Agerhast and Brownlee, they write synthesis way of writing. This is very, very important for every scholar. When you go to a library, how to select a book. Whether you select a book on quantity of pages, whether you select a book on the nature of the book. Please remember, always try to read a book on the nature of the book, not the quantity of pages. People who have an habit of taking the bulk books, then they all read. No, all bulk books are not the synthesis books. There may be a books which are very small. Please.
Sir, like the MP Jain Constitution book is like.
Yes, MP Jain is 80% a thesis and 20% is the what we can say synthesis. But 100% synthesis is the our HM Sirvai. Maybe let us say, for example, Introduction to Constitution by A.V. Dicey.
Yes.
Introduction to Constitution by A.V. Dicey is a synthesis. Like on justice, we have a book called written by Amrit Sen, Idea of Justice. The idea of justice is also synthesis. If you see the idea of justice, Amrit Sen writes what Holland said, what Salman says, what Indian author says, what foreign author says, then he gives his opinion.
From the root cause of us, they will try to compare.
Yes, we can say root cause. We can also have some more analysis. For example, in the today's scenario, in the globe, there are different scholars. So when we have the 2 or 3 ideologies, I am reading from the 2 to 3 ideologies, combining them into the your own thoughts. This is what we call synthesis. For which what we say is that how the ideological perspectives are changing. Maybe when you talk about the social contract theory, as Sir was telling, law is the command of sovereign said by the Hobbes. So not Hobbes, Austin. The Hobbes says every man born is a foolish person, is a servant of the king. Locke said natural rights and natural law theory. Rousseau says from Russia, general will theory. Hobbes was working with the king. If he propound a theory against the king will kill him. Whereas Rousseau, as a great scholar, he was running the hotel, but he has written a paper article, general will has to be promoted. So somebody says, why law is the command of sovereign? There is also called Austin worked into the military force. Austin was not a law scholar, he was a military employee. After retirement, he has come to the scholarly work. He used to follow the commands of boss. So the professional life of a person has influenced the theories. That's what also we have to see. why a particular scholar has propounded a theory, what was the social political context of that particular date, whether those can be directly comes to the theories. That's what we have a book called Political Thought, like for example, international relations, politics among the nations, Marganto. Reading of a theory as it is for the entry level. Reading of a theory on contextual level and applying to us. This is where we talk about a research scholar. You can criticize, you can accept, or you can also give your own opinions. Like in the Indian Constitution, people says the preamble is nothing but of the Ambedkar's preamble or somebody's preamble. They take from the Constitutional Assembly debates. So when you start a research, read as many books you want. What is the original work? Why the scholars have had political influence? And why it is happening like this? Let us say, for example, take today's scenario. Today we have Niti Ayog. Whether Niti Ayog will prepare any reports or how many reports of Niti Ayog are against the government policies. Earlier we have Planning Commission. How many reports of the Planning Commissions were against the government laws and policies? Whether Niti Ayog, which is controlled by the missionary executive, will they implement or will they give the, because we quote the Niti Ayog reports. When we quote the Niti Ayog report, they do a study, they submit the report, whether that is right or wrong. So whether it has any influence on, if it is the proper statistics is okay, but now the government is say 2047 Vikasit Bharat and all. So therefore every scholar should develop a critical thinking by reading of lot of literatures where we take nowadays what the honorable judges have said in the different forums. Recently, Justice Ujjwal Vian has said, everyone has a right to protest, everyone has right to dissent, which is happening in the Supreme Court. One of the judge directly comes and contradicts what happens there, Jantar Mantar. So one is a personal opinion in a public forum in a national law school, which helps the support the what happened Jantar Mantar. Then other side there is other problem is there. So a sitting Supreme Court judge which makes a comment in a public forum which is constitutionally valid. A right to dissent is a constitutional right. Right to expression of views is also protected. There is nothing wrong. Associations. Freedom of association is permitted. So in democracy, right to assent is supported one side by a sitting judge. So we take that as our views because he is a jurist. A jurist has said, a constitutional post has said, right to dissent is a constitutionally protected right. And every elected government should take dissent as a part of democracy. So therefore, may not come through judgment, may come as a juridical opinion by way of public lectures. That public lecture opinion can be part and parcel of your thesis. So this is where we take Constitutional Assembly debates have done so many years back. Why still Constitutional Assembly debates are relevant? Because that scenario was something where they debated how we apply today. So therefore, when you start any literature, and literature is very important how to read 3 lines or 4 lines. And from 2 to 3 lines and 4 lines, you go on writing lot. This is where comes about the reading and conceptual analyticals. For that, we ask our students on the review of literature, what are the books you have studied. Generally, they write a book name. Then we ask every student, no, that is not review of literature. What is the idea from the book which you have taken for your research? Though we have further classes on that, this is what happens. Hope I have given some answer to you, right? Because these 6 terminologies, what we see here is called descriptive, analytical, conceptual, fundamental, applied research. Applied research is for the immediate problem, which you have to do within 6 months. If any one of us are applying for ICSSR projects also, they ask for applied research. Applied research is that what is the solution for immediate problem? So most of the PhD scholars may not be doing that one because you are doing not in 6 months. Applied research has some sort of, a solution for immediate and practical problem. Now ICSSR is giving the project where the project has to be completed within 6 months. So that's what they also talks about applied problems. Then we have about the qualitative and quantitative, where the people will talk about how to measure. It also changes by virtue of research designs. So as a scholars, this is also one of the important point, how to plan for our research, and these terminologies will be used. No,
It will work.
it is working. No, earlier it was working. Not side share. Why?
No, it will work.
It will work. Now it has worked.
Even it is not in slide.
It has to work. No,
It's working, sir.
no, it's not working, madam. What he said is right.
Dimension basic research. The slide change, no?
But again I'm pressing. Why it is not moving?
Sir, actually, when we apply on the slideshow, it will work, sir.
It wasn't straight, so Chaitanya.
Advertisement is coming.
No,
That's
huh?
why that Windows advertisement is coming, sir.
No, you close it. That one, go for the slideshow. That is very important. No, no. Because it has to come. That can be down because our things.
No, that's 15.
Okay. Presentation mode. This is good actually. Yes. That's fine.
Let's ask the advertisement is coming.
No, we don't want to. Subject is important. No?
Are they visible or not?
For them,
No, it's visible. It's visible. If they are not visible, they will tell us. Some people are following very keenly. So I think they are following. So now we have another sub in continuation, basic and applied research, which we talk about the meaning, nature, utility, and goals. Expand the basis of the scientific knowledge, designed to solve the particular problem, theoretical and practical. Even the Lakshmina sir was telling, VC sir was telling, theoretical society of the Germany were Max Planck, where they talk about the new concept and new theories, and also universes which we are going to define. Also, more importantly, it comes and developing of the scientific knowledge and predictions, or developing of technologies and techniques if you are using with regard to the law and technology, because we see nowadays most of the researchers are coming on the technology and law. Am I audible? Somebody will confirm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So
Yes,
now
sir.
we have, yes, sir. Now we have a lot of topics on algorithms, deep fakes, algorithm decision making on antitrust law. Then we have recently in SEBI market there is a theory called white box theory and black box theory. Algorithms are deciding by white box and black box theory. White box means the decisions how they have taken they will explain, which is very transparent. Black box theory of algorithm means they don't tell about the how the decision has been taken. Computer itself takes a decision and gives to all of us, where we talk that as the algorithm manipulations, deep fakes, and also we have today we are all living in an era called digital ledger and the cryptocurrency. Recently, Madras High Court has given a judgment in 2025, Ritu Kumari's case, where the Madras High Court said crypto is called as the movable property. Even though seller is in Singapore, if the buyer is in Madras, then the Indian law will apply and India's arbitration law will apply. Even the contract between the buyer and seller, it says agreement is governed by the Singapore law. Madras High Court says these clauses are arbitrary. A person who is doing the trade sitting in Madras, investing in the crypto, and there is a branch in Chennai, a small office, and main company is in Singapore. You have a standard form of contract which says In the case of any dispute, you have to come to Singapore. Whereas the buyer has filed a case, investor, and Madras High Court gave remedy to the Ritu Kumari, stating that crypto is a mobile property and the Indian law will applicable. So, which I want to talk is called digital ledgers, where RBI is controlling technology, ledger, and money. So today we cannot say that without technology we cannot know. Even the slides which I am using, everybody may be watching Gemini notebook. It's not a chat GPT. I don't know the chat GPT how to use it. I use the proper paid tools. Since you have the university access ID, you also get a tool freely, I think some GB per day. So how to use a tool is also very important. See, I have car, I can go 40 kilometer speed in a proper road. If I take my car, hit the mountain with 120 kilometers, the person will die. It's like a tool is like that. You have a tool, how to use the tool is very important. If you, recently, I tell bad behavior of the tool with me. As a corporate law teacher, I gave a uploading document of Salman versus Salman. Original House of Law judgment I gave to a tool. I asked for analysis. The tool has taken salmon fish and he has given completely salmon fish again and again, again and again. Then I was talking to my students because my students use the tools. They come to the class with the tool. Before I say something, they tell about the paragraphs. So I said, why is my tool is taking the salmon versus salmon as a salmon fish? Because AI is not aware whether Salman is a man, Salman is a fish. Then I have to go back to manual PPTs. Imagine a case, if I prepare a PPT of case analysis, Salman versus Salman, if I don't recheck and go to the class, I will have a fish analysis, not the Salman case. So use the tool, not the chat GPT. Paid versions, learn the tools. We have another class in the next class. I think Soma madam, others, and all our faculty will take. There are 35 tools which are free. Out of the 10, you can use it. So without using of the legal tools, it is very difficult to survive in this world. Because I am very for technologies. Because when technology is there, we have to use it. Manupatra is not a tool. Manupatra is the it is a source of material we call as the Manupatra is also research base. It is not a tool. Manupatra also you have to learn how to use the base. Manupatra, SEC online, all these we call as legal databases. Databases means earlier we used to go to library, take All India Reporter. Now Manupatra is giving you, don't go to library, it is available on soft copy, you can take a book, that's all. Manupatra will not give analysis. And Manupatra big problem is that I am not against Manupatra, they don't write head notes. Even today, one of the good what's called a legal journal or legal book is that SEC online. SEC, they take the pains to write the head notes. Manupatra, they don't write, they just take it and give it. But we require the head notes when you want to write, which judge said what. And the tool, what happens, why you require a tool? See, you have a screwdriver. What to do with screwdriver? Can you kill somebody with screwdriver? Similar way, which tool you have, what you have to do. If I have a tool now, people say Gemini notebook. What is that tool? What it will happen? Unless we get a training, some people say, where I will get a training? See, the government of India started NPTEL courses and IIT Chennai, IIT Kharagpur, so many universities are conducting free online courses how to use the tools. Join for the NPTEL courses, Swayam courses, learn the tool. A law student cannot say that, sir, I don't have a tool, I didn't go to law school, I didn't go for a law college, and how can I use it? Excuse cannot be a reason. This is an online course, a free course, not even to be paid, because they will tell how to use it. Somebody will tell, asking question, getting answer we don't want. If you have 1,000 pages judgment of Keshavananda Bharati, I want analysis of single judge, then that is also extraction. This is also how to use. We can take one day experiential class, not now. If anybody is interested, on one of the tool we can use analysis, one research article, one textbook, one case, how to use the tools. Because there is a textbook is there. Whether from the textbook, how can you use the tool? Research articles, how to use the tool. Then we have the judgment, how to use the tools for judgments. These are all very, very important when it comes about the tools and all. For that, we have some experts are there in India also. With that, and also we can get that understanding. So moving further here, the primary sources and secondary sources. This actually I told commencement of my classes. If it is a doctrinal and pure legal research, for us the legal text is the primary source. If we go to the field work, then we have the universe becomes as the primary source. There is a difference between, a lot of debate is happening between the sociological research and versus legal research. So people say sociology, criminology, political science, they take the 200 sampling, SPSS and all. In law, every research cannot be done like that. So therefore, our law itself comes as a special professional course. So therefore, that we have the different tools and methods. As Lakshmina sir said, we have the books of Good and Hot, then Professor Ishwar Bhatt and Professor Vibhuti, who has written recently. Otherwise, one of the old book on legal research published 50 years back by Indian Law Institute. Indian Law Institute has published the book on legal research methods, which is available soft copy. Every library it is available. These are the 5 to 7 books to understand about the legal research. This is also just I want to put it. Some of the methods which we can go for the data collection. It is only to tell about the selection of the topics and others. For this, we will have a detailed class for the 3 hours later in one of the session. How to use the documents and technical things they will tell you. I thought in the first day I can project all of you. Maybe you can plan yourself which method you will be planning and how to proceed on the method of data collection. Here I want to give one rider. PhD research also includes spending of money, and take a topic based upon your economic viabilities. Don't take up a topic because you have to spend a lot of money, you have to go to libraries. Because if you have an income, if you are well settled, it is fine. But if you are in the initial stages, one side there is no income, other side you have an expenditure, third you have a peer pressure. After the masters, you are supposed to, everyone has their one. So if you have taken a topic which you don't have a data, let us say for example, even for internet you have to spend now lot of money. Like as a teacher, I spend money. Now I shifted myself from not Google, I uploaded myself to the Google One, because Google is giving 15 GB and 15 GB is not enough for me. Once upon a time, I used to think as a teacher, what I will do 15 GB. Once the tools are started using, within 2 days 15 GB is not there. Now I have to go to the TBs, 5 TB, and we are all moving to the Google One. So our life is regulated by Google One or by the tool, I don't know. But if you are selecting the research, think that one also, because nowadays we don't have the pen drives. Now we have the cloud drives. I cannot tell that my pen drive got corrupted, my pen drive got polluted. Earlier we say Google Drive. After the Google Drive, the cloud drives have come. People are cleared the cloud emails now. and people are purchasing the space in the cloud, they are giving the rents. Some companies are creating the cloud centers, they are giving the rent. These terminology looks something very fancy, but that is the future of all of us, which we are selecting for the legal research with the help of technologies. It will help you very easily, but at the same time, you look for your finances and how much you can afford and which libraries you can do. But recently I have sent one link. One of the scholar told me just now, Tyler and Francis, we have a library called ONOS, One Nation, One Subscription. Every student in India has same access, which is provided by the Government of India. Government of India created a library called InfilBNet. They paid 5,000 crores, which is established in Gujarat. From the investment of 5,000 crores, the project is that every student who is in a remote area can access the library through the university or the school email IDs. That is called One Nation, One Subscription. So that you can access wherever you are sitting in the world, because now we have university email ID. Once you can join in the university online library, then you can start going to the journals. There the subject not only law, medicine and engineering and whatever the subject you want, you can use it. That is also a very good option. The other thing for data collection is that you can use the e-Sodaganga. You can go for the e-PG Patasala, where lot of books are available. e-PG Patasala, there are thousands of books on law and non-law also. Already people have done good research and books are available in the soft copies. And this question ended, I don't want now, it's 1:10. Maybe I will come back to the last 2 slides because I don't want to burden. In between, I will come to one of the class also, because morning onwards you are listening. This is how you prepare your initial draft or the research reports. Whenever we ask the students, the first thing we ask when you come to the university, show your title page. People come with one page, and acknowledgement, declaration, table of content, listing and abbreviations. Maybe when you come next time to the university for the submission of your report, you should contain title page, introduction, problem statement, objectives, methodology, findings, limitations, and the proposed certain things we'll do after research. The first one is introduction, problem statement, objectives, and methodology. You have a written examination or you have to submit the draft. In the draft, the main content is very important. The main content which I want to refer, title page is very important, introduction, problem statement, objectives, methodology. From hereafter, whenever you are submitting your proposals, whenever you are submitting things to the university, please see that this is in the same format. And the later last one, you have appendix and a bibliography. What we want to tell everyone is that let us make the research what we do here, and we are all working for making the research, because state of Andhra Pradesh, particularly DSNLU, with the guidance of Honorable Vice Chancellor, we are promoting, other than regular and part-time PhD, we have executive PhDs. So in the executive PhDs, it is going to be a model PhD. Even other law schools or other universities are asking how DSNL is working. Because after us, we have NLU Delhi also. NLU Delhi, they do have an executive PhD, we do have. So every law school is looking for whether the quality is maintained or reduced, whether the students are well equipped or not. So therefore, within a month or within 15 days, we prepare a booklet, a guiding booklet for all PhD scholars. We will share with all PhD scholars all the first page to last page also. What are the models, printing, etc. and all. It will be handy book for all of you. So this is where just I want to discuss. Footnote you don't require. So initial first day, I just want to introduce to all of you about the research methods, selection of topic. If I recollect what I have explained is that planning for the research objectives, clarity of thought, it should be very selective one. Don't take very vague one. Plan your hypothesis and also have a observations. Then look about your finances and about the topics. Accordingly, you can plan it. Now I will pause it here. If any questions are there, if any interaction is there, then we can discuss now. Hope we are able to convey something. We don't want one way, lectures. Hope you are able to receive something by observation and listening from the three speakers of the day today. Commencement from the Honorable Vice Chancellor and the Guru of Legal Education, Ashwina Sir, and the young teacher of the law now, myself. We have seen 3 generations of teachers at a same day.
Yes, sir. It was very informative. We definitely got a lot of information. It will take some time to process it, sir.
Yes, I understand, madam. The research itself is a, it will take some, that's something. And
Session is very informative, sir.
thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Hereafter, madam, for every Saturday, Sunday, we have classes. The classes will be 10 to 11:30, 11:45 to then 1:50, 90 minutes to 90 minutes. Saturday 3 hours, Sunday 3 hours. We will send the timetable, and within a day or 2 days, try to attend all the classes. We are proposing to conduct the coursework most probably in October end or November. So therefore, you all become eligible to the completion of your PhD in a speedy way. So we have started with the same tempo. We want every student who join interestingly with a purpose, so complete and start working for the research. That's from my side. Or if you want to ask any questions or if you want to ask any clarification, you can ask about the course.
Sir, sir?
Yes, please, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, this is Govind Ingeti from Hyderabad. Sir, when would the classes likely to start, sir?
Classes already started today, and again every Saturday, Sunday. We have now 29 and 30. August 29, 30. September, again, I think we have 7 and 9. 5th and 6th.
Yes.
So Saturday, Sundays we kept because most of them are working and also not possible. So it is 90 minutes and 90 minutes. We have the resource persons all over from India, and also all our guides and teachers will take, sir. So
sir, this class will be there for how many months, sir? For about till
November,
October?
Sir. Up to 50 hours. 50 hours. Up to October end or November. Yes, sir.
Okay, then we would have the exam, right?
Yes, sir. Exam
then will be the exam, sir?
Yes, sir. Exam, we have not decided, proposed to be in November, sir.
Yes,
November or December. We will let you know, sir. Depending upon how the classes will go, then we want to do at the earliest.
So when we
thank
come
you.
for exam,
Thank you, sir.
Exams we will let you know, madam, after confirmation, preferably before December end, madam.
Yes, so when we come for the exam, we have to also present our new research proposal, the final one.
It is evaluated the 4 components, madam. 2 written papers. One is on research methodology, one is your broad field of study. And another 2 components are a written document which you are bringing and the presentation before the external examiner. It is a UGC mandatory requirement of the 4 components. Research methodology examination, broad field examination, continuous assessment. Continuous assessment we are giving about the writing of proposal. Then presenting before an expert about your presentation skills. These components are given by the UGC that a scholar should be able to write and also able to present. Therefore, there is some sort of, a surveillance or a continuous guidance. Otherwise, what is happening? Once they join for PhD, there is no connectivity between the guide and students. So UGC made mandatory you conduct a coursework, then all will learn and they update themselves. That is what the purpose of this coursework. It is the UGC according to is the 12 credits. So that's how we do it, madam.
Noted, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, so we are also going to submit a research report at the time of presentation.
Yes,
right?
madam.
The
Yes.
slide that you have shown.
Mm.
So we have to submit that and give a presentation and write 2 exams.
Yes, not we will be. It will be taken by so many other teachers hereafter, madam. How to go with data collection methods also. Then you can prepare.
Yes, sir.
Today
Yes,
I
sir.
have given just under outline. We have already given to the topics taken by the former earlier course sessions. Last year topics we have already circulated, and similar way and new topics are given, madam. On every topic, you will have the in-depth analysis by the different experts.
Yes, sir. We have seen that document, sir. Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you very much.
So if we
Thank you,
have
sir.
provided with the blueprint of all these sessions, it will be very helpful, sir.
Blueprints we have, madam. We will request our. We will find out and we'll give all the videos, madam. Last time we have shared with our students. I think we are having. We will share, madam. We will share it.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, kindly share the video, sir. That will be very helpful for us, like what ma'am had said.
Sir. Definitely, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. This is Mopur Prasad from Hyderabad.
Yes,
I have a small query, sir. While presenting during provisional interview, the title, my title was asked to reduce, sir. Whether I should resubmit in total or is it sufficient at the time of examination?
Sir, generally the title selection, the final title will be at the time of coursework. You come with the working title, sir. Then once you complete your coursework, you have a first presentation, sir. In the first presentation, you can finalize your title, sir. So you have a long time, then where you can finalize the title.
Okay, so I need not resubmit as suggested by sir during.
Please resubmit, sir. Please resubmit whatever the committee said. It is a broad title, sir. Broad and working title.
Yes.
What will happen? After 3 months, I may not like my own title. So, okay. Generally, as a teacher, what I tell to my student is that prepare 3 titles. And among the 3 titles, take one title which you like. I gave 3 titles. I had a brainstorm session with my friends and my colleagues. The title should be very catchy and very easy. So we give a lot of time to select the final title, but working title has to be with the guide and consultations. In the first presentation after the coursework, the final title will be finalized. There you have experts also, then external will be there. By that time, you can freeze your titles, sir. Now we have a lot of time for the titles.
Thank you very much. Thank you.